Okay, let's keep it going, finding more derivatives. But now in this problem, they're not asking us to just only find the first derivative. This is actually asking us to find the second derivative. And I know that because of the exponent. If there was a 3, it would be asking for the third derivative. So keep in mind that the notation sometimes tells you to take the derivative more than once. So in finding this derivative, the first one, first I find dy dx. So here, this piece of my function is a product of x and cosine x. So to find the derivative of this piece, I'm going to do the product rule. So that's the derivative of x, which is 1, multiplied by the derivative, multiplied by the second function, which is cosine x, plus the first function, which is x, multiplied by the derivative of cosine x, which is negative sine x. So now I'm left with whatever the derivative of tangent is, which from our first page of notes for 2.5, we know is secant squared x. So now I found the first derivative. I need to find the second derivative. So I'm going to go ahead and keep it just like this, and now find the second derivative of what I have. So the second derivative with respect to y of x. So now this 1 multiplied by cosine x is just cosine x. So the derivative of cosine x is negative sine x. So now here I'm left with a product of two functions. So if I want the derivative of this, I'm going to use product rule. So the derivative of x is 1 multiplied by the second function, which is negative sine x, plus the first function, which is x, multiplied by the derivative of negative sine x. So that's just going to be negative whatever the derivative of sine x is. So the derivative of sine x is cosine x, so this will be negative cosine x. So now, how do I find the derivative of secant squared? So remember, secant squared is just secant x multiplied by secant x. So I can go ahead and do the product rule again, but now I have to use secant x as my two functions. So that might get a little crazy. I'm going to go ahead and Sorry, I'm just trying to write big. So what is going to be this product rule? So the derivative of secant from our first page is secant x tangent x multiplied by the second function, which is secant x, plus, remember we're doing product rule, the derivative of secant x is secant x tangent x multiplied by the first function, secant x. So we could simplify this, and we will practice simplifying, but for the AP test, this is an acceptable answer. So let's leave it as such for now. We'll practice simplifying in class. Let's try another one.